Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the last video in my 2021 journaling planning videos. So I'm going to take you through the last, so let me back up. In previous videos, I went over my 2020 and previous setup, my 2021 setup, and then I brought you along with me while I basically set my 2021 system up. There are a few extra things that are part of my practices in the upcoming year that I wanted to share with you. These are just mostly just for fun and to show you more of my journals. So you are welcome to just come along and have a little tour. There's not going to be setup videos or anything for this part, but I'm going to take you on a little flip through some of my other systems, and yeah, so let's dive in. So again, in case you didn't catch it before, there was a sale at Chic Sparrow and I did pick up several covers. Some of them were second chance, which are basically like covers that for some reason didn't meet their full spec and they are already discounted, and then they were 50% off of that. So it was like an incredible deal. So I got this little passport one. This is literally, I just got this to see what I thought of the passport size. When I got it in, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. This is the Tea House leather in chai, I think it is, or is it Earl Grey? I can't remember. I think it's Earl Grey. It's really nice actually, and it has a really good feel to it, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with it, and then I was like, wait, I could actually put passports in it. So let me just zoom you in here. So I actually picked up a little dashboard, which I just have kept clear for now. And then I got on Amazon this really cute little Oz passport, which is super adorable. It's actually just a notebook, but it has this little like passport to Oz section there. And then in the back, it has traveler's tips, including following the yellow brick road and watching out for flying monkeys, among other things. And I just thought that was so perfect and cute. And then in the back of the dashboard, I actually have just slipped in Peggy and my frequent traveler or Nexus cards, which are out of date, but we may renew at some point. And so I've kept them there just so that everything's together. And then I have my United States passport, my Canadian passport, and Peggy's Canadian passport, and the dog's rabies vaccine all in the back, so that if we need to cross the border, I can just grab this one thing and we can go. I haven't put a pen of any kind in here, but if we were to travel, I would just grab a pen and slip it in the pen loop, so we would have a pen on the go as well. That's what that's for. Super simple, but probably not going to get a lot of regular use. In this notebook, this is actually, I'm not even going to open this one because this one is, it's a pocket size English tea rose. This one was another one of those second chance notebooks in the deluxe, and this is really nice. I've just got 3 blank books in here, and I actually plan to do some relationship journaling in here, so that's the plan for that. And this is actually the pen I've paired with this journal is a, oh, what's the brand? Dryden? Yeah, it's a Dryden medium point, I believe it is, and I just have to ink it up. So I'm going to pick the ink and get that inked up. But this is just to do any kind of note-taking or journaling, specifically with regards to my marriage. So I thought the pink was really cute for that. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be using. Oops, I don't like to take the clip all the way down on some of these because then it catches. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be using this one for. This one is kind of fun. So this is actually a traveler's notebook. I found out about this one from Mary Grace Faroon. And I think that's where I found out about it. This is actually a personal size. I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit. Boop. This is a personal size. Let's move that out of the way. It was really inexpensive on Amazon. The leather feels actually really, really nice. It's super like floppy and suede-like on the inside. It's got a little pocket here, and I've just clipped this unicorn felt clip because I think it's really cute, and it actually stays really nicely in this spot. Pull the, nope, I had it the other way. I just think it's really cute, the little unicorn witch. And then I actually repurposed some of these notebooks because I was using these journals for something else before. But essentially what I'm doing with this is this first book, I have a bunch of stickers from The Last Unicorn all over it. This is where I'm just going to log basically title, date started and date finished of books. So I'm going to set that up off camera because otherwise this video will be a million hours long, but it's just going to say reading log, title, date started, date finished. And that's how I'm going to keep track of the books I'm reading throughout the year. This middle journal is a Tomoe River paper journal. And this is literally just going to be me writing a little bit about every book that I read in 2021. I don't know if I'll write a little bit or a lot. And the pen loop I've added, of course, just like before. And this is a Kakuno, is there ink in here? No. This is a Kakuno clear pen in medium, I think. Yeah, this is a medium point. And I'm just going to ink that up with something fun in a little bit. These Kakunos slide really well into these elastic pen loops because they're super smooth barrel. The last notebook is just a little grid paper one that came with these. There's also a pocket in the back here, really nice. This came with these, but it had sharp corners, so I just took my corner rounder and rounded the corners so it looked a little nicer. Anything I want to do as far as reading trackers, pages read, anything like that I decide I'll put it in here. I don't know if I'm going to do any extra reading tracking this year, but if I want to, that's where it will go. Or if I want to keep, like, I don't know, other book wish lists or things like that, I might put them in there, but I'm trying not to do that because I have so many books to read that I don't even want to try to keep a list because it'll just tempt me to buy more books. So that will be my reading journal, and these all stay home, right? I don't need to carry them anywhere. I'm really excited about this. So this is a Paper Blanks book. Now, if you haven't heard of Paper Blanks, the company is based here in Vancouver, BC, and they make these really beautiful journals that are basically based off of, or facsimiles, I guess you could say, of real books. So this one here, it says, the intricate rules that govern life during the Holy Week deserve to be housed in a similarly momentous and ornate binding. And it talks about the book that this book is based on, which I think is really cool. There is a pocket in the back of these, and there is, I've added a pen loop, and there is an elastic. The pen that I have in here is my, I always forget the name of this, and I love it so much, and I still, Monteverde? Yeah, Monteverde. Really, really, really pretty. Love this pen. One of my fancier ones, so I don't want this to travel around with me. This is going to stay with this book. And I'm going to pick an ink color, and that's the ink color I'm going to use throughout the entire thing, because this is, and I have to add some stickers because there were some things glued in and they left these like oil spots, which is annoying. But anyways, this is a 5-year journal. So essentially what you do is you have 5 years worth of entries for every day in the calendar year, and you just date it. So 2021, you write a few sentences about your day, you do that for the entire year, and then you come back and you start at the beginning again on the following year, and you do that for 5 years, and it's just memory keeping. So you have kind of 5 years of just simple memories to look back on, and I just really like that idea. So I'm gonna write a couple lines in this every single day, just what we did, nothing fancy, but just to have something to kind of look back on. So that's what that is for. I think it's really pretty. It's just gonna live by my bed and be like part of my bedtime routine. Also part of my bedtime routine, so this is going to be my daily diary. I haven't kept a paper daily diary in a long time. I've been missing that kind of tactile experience of really writing. This was another discount notebook that I managed to get my hands on. This is another Chic Sparrow. This is a discontinued leather. It's the Outlander leather in the color Prince, which is so pretty. And this one has the really nice pockets. So I put some quotes in the dashboard. I just designed these images based on images I found on the internet, and then quotes, and put it together so that it would look kind of cohesive. But this first one says, healing may not be so much about getting better as about letting go of everything that isn't you. All of the expectations, all the beliefs, and becoming who you are. Rachel Naomi Remen. And then on the back, I've just glued, I put this onto black cardstock, but I just glued a really pretty picture. I got a stack of these pictures sent to me by somebody who was very, very sweet, and so I worked one of them into this part of the cover. This notebook here I actually made, and I'm really proud of it. It's not fancy, it's just Tomoe River paper that I bought in an A5 size. This is a B6 size notebook, so I had to measure what a B6 would be, and then I actually folded it, and I hand bound the pages myself with a saddle stitch, and so I made this notebook. I put cardstock on the cover. I like Tomoe River paper just for just generally, it's just really nice to write on. You can watercolor in it, you can do all kinds of things. I just wanted a couple blank inserts in here in case I wanted to, I don't know, do any kind of art journaling or just like write anything. I don't know how much I'll use them, but I like having extra inserts in these things. In the back of this, here's another picture that came in that set that was sent to me. And then on the back, another quote that matches the same design of the front. And this one says, "Healing takes courage, and we all have courage, even if we have to dig a little to find it." And then here I have another Paper Blanks book. Now this is a new line from Paper Blanks called the Flexi. It's Flexis. So I'm assuming the S is silent, but maybe it's Flexis. I don't know. But this one's just really, really pretty. And this is just a regular lined journal in their midi size. So their midi size is exactly the right size to go into a B6 journal. And these are really cool because they even have like edge decorations. I don't know how else to describe that. So this book is also, there's a pocket, like a little secretarial pocket in the back. And this is based on a book called Aurelia. Let's see. Oh no, that's the name of their design. And its inspiration dates back to Paris in the mid-18th century, and the original binding housed copies of King Louis XV's procedures for the Holy Week. So that's what this is based on. And this is actually textured, like it's not just flat. And then in the back is another Tomoe River insert that I made. Same reason as the first one. And I have these strung through the spine of, so I've actually untied the strings in the Traveler's Notebook and ran the, ran the string behind the book. So that's how that's housed. And this is my Lamy All-Star pen. I just need to ink it up for 2021. I have a converter in there. I really like the Lamy pens. They're probably one of my favorite for comfort. But this one and the TWSBI Ecos are my #1 pens for sure. Well, and the Kakunos. You know what? I like all my pens. But these are smooth. They go into pen loops really great. I really like these. So that is going to be my diary, and I'm just going to try to write a page or so a day of just like my thoughts, feelings, emotions, a bit of a brain dump, a place to kind of process if I'm struggling, that kind of thing. And finally, we have my last Chic Sparrow notebook. This one was the Holiday Limited Edition Sugar Plum. This one was the only one that I bought that was not on sale. I think I had points or a coupon. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember now. I may have just done full price for this one. But this is a really soft leather and it scratches really easy. Like the tiniest mark leaves a mark. I was thinking about using this one for my everyday notebook, but I realized that I was so not used to having something scratch so easily that I decided to leave this one at home for this purpose. And this is essentially going to be a bit of a magical notebook or grimoire. Now, you guys know that as far as a book of shadows, I collect things in an expanding file folder. So this is going to be more for things that I've created and done that I want to keep. I have a habit of when I am planning out magical works, I will tend to plan them in whatever notebook I can get my hands on that's handy. I'll plan it all out. But I don't have a tendency to keep those things, and I have lots of magical herbal recipes and things like that that I've created on the fly that I would love to have kept a record of. So I just want to get better about that. So this is a Cascade style Chic Sparrow. So it's got these pockets that go up and down. Here's another dashboard. I printed out these images. I basically found this image and laid it over top of this kind of parchment background, printed that, printed out a Wheel of the Year. This is a thick Tomoe River paper insert that I handmade myself. Again, saddle stitch bound it, put it on cardstock. These holographic little clips, I love these. They don't stay on very well, so better for a notebook that's going to stay at home, but I love this Triple Moon one. I think it's so, so pretty. And then what I've got actually next, let's go to the end here. So it's very thick. So my goal with this is to basically, when I want to jot down an idea for a magical working or a spell or plan it out, I'll plan it out in this notebook. And then when I've done the working, when it's finalized, then I'll put a finished page for it in my grimoire book, which is after, we'll get to that. So anyways, and then in the back of this, I have an image for my matron. Specifically, this is from the Goddess Oracle by Sophia Marashinsky and Frana Janto, and this surrender was actually the keyword on the card. And this specific card was a big part of how she came into my spiritual life, so I wanted to have her in here. And then in the back is a unicorn fan art for The Last Unicorn. Again, these are just images I found online. They're for my personal use. I'm not sharing them or links to them or anything like that because I didn't keep track. But you could probably Google to find any of these. And then Oh yes, and then is another insert that I made. This one is inspired by Dustin at Modern Metaphysicae, who told me about this like literally over a year ago, and I had planned to do this in my other notebook and never did, but it's perfect for this. So I made this insert. It is really cardstock and then heavy watercolor paper. And then what these are is they're called Peerless watercolors, and they're basically watercolor like pigment, I guess, that is on papers or cardstock kind of things. So you get them in a set. In fact, I can show you what they look like because I have them. And they're very inexpensive, but this is how they come. So they come in this like sort of booklet, and they're huge. And each one has the name of the color on the back. Or is it on the front? Yeah, the first one is Brilliant Yellow, and that's that color. Suddenly Doubting Myself. Brilliant Yellow, Deep Yellow. Well, I wrote Bright Yellow, but whatever, same. Anyways, so I just cut out little squares of these, and I put them, I kind of planned out how much space I would need, and I put them onto this, glued them onto this watercolor paper, and then I took my water brush and I swatched them out, so I'd know what the colors look like. This is acetate. You can get clear acetate. I just found this stuff with polka dots, so I'm using that, and that's just so that the colors don't mush together. So I have my full set of colors here, and that basically lets me have, I added a pen loop, and I have a water brush so that I can literally just add a little bit of color to my grimoire, which we're going to talk about next, anytime that I want. So if I want to create a little watercolor wash or a heading or anything like that, I can do that. So this book has a bit of a story. So first of all, the cover is actually from the Midori or Traveler's Notebook Company. They have a Midori line called, I think it's called Midori MD or Traveler's Notebook MD. And it's basically a A5 size notebook that the Traveler's Notebook Company creates. I didn't buy any of their notebooks, but I did buy this clear plastic cover. It is super flimsy, like mine already has a tear in the back. So well, actually on the front, so I'm using the back as the front, but I wanted a clear plastic cover to wrap around this very fancy and rather expensive notebook that I brought in from Japan, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But what I did was this is a very thick notebook I have in here, and the Midori MD wasn't meant to wrap around such a thick notebook, so I actually had to trim a couple millimeters, I guess, off of the cover of my notebook so that it would fit in this cover. The reason I wanted it in a cover, though, is because it is a individual hand-sewn signature notebook, but there's no binding to take the string through the back, and I didn't want to put the string inside the pages. I did try it. There's actually even still a little lump where I tried it, and I did not like it. So I ordered the cover so I could run the string through the back, which I really like that better. Now what I did here is just created this graphic using images online. Again, I loved this like kind of stone looking tree pentacle design. This is probably like a resin thing you can order from somewhere. I don't know. I found the image, I liked it, I put it here, and I found a font I liked, and I wrote Grimoire. This notebook is a Cosmo Air Light notebook, and it's a very, very smooth fountain pen friendly paper. It feels heavier than a Tomoe River paper, but side by side, Tomoe River paper is a paper that makes your fountain pen ink just look really, really nice. It tends to not bleed. It's just a really nice paper. Cosmo Air Light paper is like a step up from that. So it's just as beautiful, but it does something to the inks, particularly fountain pen inks that have any kind of sheen or color to them, and it just, I don't know if you can see just how much sheen. So this is my Organic Studio Nitrogen ink with my stub nib. It looks, and then my Emerald de Chivor, I can never say it, ink. It does something to fountain pen inks. This is where I was playing with watercolor stuff and I got pink on there. But it just makes the ink look really pretty. So I thought for a grimoire, it'd be really nice to be able to have my inks look really beautiful in here. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm probably going to put some kind of a blessing here in the front page, and then I'm just going to go. I'm going to create an index just like I would in a bullet journal, and then just like a bullet journal, I'm going to slowly fill it with anything that I do magically, any rituals I do, any meditations I do. So this book will definitely live like at home for sure. And then, so yeah, I will have links to everything down below. I think you can get this Cosmo Air Light. The reason this is special is because this paper is fairly newly available, and it tends to only be available in loose leaf. So there's only one maker of Cosmo Airlight notebooks that I know about. So, and again, they're in Japan, so ordered this from them. I'll have a link down below. It's available in a few different sizes, but it's not commonly available by any stretch. So I will have a link for you for that. And then there's a secretarial pocket in the back. I don't know what I'll put in there. We'll see. And then I have put in here, and I don't know if this is the pen that's going to stay in here, but it matches so beautifully. But this is a Noodler's Ahab Flex pen that I have not inked up or tried to use yet. I'm a little bit intimidated by it, but a Flex pen is a pen that lets you get a variable line, because as you press, the tines are meant to actually flex or separate, so that you get like different widths and lines. So I'm going to actually ink this pen up with, I'd already decided, where is it? I've got my inks next to me. Ah, here it is. So this is American Aristocracy, and let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Oh, you're not gonna be able to tell the color. And these ink bottles are so full I can't move anything. It's kind of like a dusty rose color. It's very similar to the color you see here on the cap, so maybe like a dusty purple-ish. But actually the interesting thing about this ink is that when you order this ink, you could get one of 3 color variations of the ink. All of them are different variations on that kind of color, but they're each different. So I haven't really inked it up and pen tested it yet to see what the ink color is, but that's what's gonna be in this pen. So that is it. This is going to be just living beside me for, I have a little, here I'll show you actually. I have a little one of, let's see if I can zoom you out, otherwise it's not going to show up. I have one of these like sort of boxes that can hold books. I have this kind of beside one of my altar spaces. And what I keep in there are just these 2. So this being my grimoire, and then this is my Cunningham Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, where I also tuck in the pages that I get from my Witch's Roots box. So this is sort of my herbal resource guide. And then this guy. And that's pretty much all I need for most of my ritual planning or magical planning. And then I also have, of course, if you haven't seen it before, you'll be able to see it if you go check out my Book of Shadows video. But I also have a expanding file folder, as I mentioned, and I keep loose papers, anything I want to sort of hold on to, I keep it in this. Oh, the focus is being stupid, but that's what I use that for. I realized there was a few other journaling things I wanted to share with you guys, just in case these other things are things you might find helpful as well, particularly if you like working in more structured journals. So I have a couple that are for specific purposes that I'm going to share with you. So the first of these, I have talked about this before. This is the Affirmators Journal. This is by the same people that created the Affirmators Oracle, the Affirmators Tarot, and a bunch of other Affirmators products. It's basically, this journal is basically the journal that is the companion to the Oracle. So throughout this journal, there are kind of randomly ordered. There is a full piece of the artwork from the Affirmators Oracle, and then there's journal prompts specifically about that card. So this is something that I just enjoy doing every once in a while when I want some guided journaling. I've also sometimes used this in conjunction with the Affirmators Oracle when I'm working with it for myself, just to like draw a card and then find the page in here and journal it. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this. I don't typically work through this in order, but I'll just flip through, find a page, and then fill it out. I don't use it very often, but it's nice to have something like this when you want a guided journal prompt. And also the pages are rainbows. So there's that. So that's super fun. I picked this up. I haven't used it yet, but I thought this would be really handy just to have on hand in case I'm having a really, really tough time and I just need to offload some energy. So this is called Rage Page, a journal for the bad days. I will have a link to this. Like I said, I will have links to everything down below. But this is just a really basic soft cover journal that is helpful when you're struggling. So you just put, this is really actually kind of fun. So there's a date, there's a spot to put the asshole of the day, you can fill in your rageometer, the clusterfuck of the day, these things make me want to punch my pillow, a word of the day, more shit, so continue venting here, what can I do to unclusterfuck tomorrow, and I'm fucking lucky to have, there's a spot here for a small gratitude list and a happy thought of the day. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty much all, oh my god, the words are in here really bad, by the way. But it's all basically the same. There's just other swear words in here. It's kind of like a cuss journal in journaling, or like a, what do you call it? Yeah, like a sweary words journal, but in, you know, in this this format, and you know what I'm saying. So I just wanted to have this handy in my journaling supplies for when I'm having a day. I can grab this maybe instead of my pretty journal and just like offload a bit. If I do that, I might tip these pages. Like if I fill this out, I don't know how I would do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I use this. This wasn't very expensive. I just wanted to have it handy. It's like I've got something for like anger and something for like more of a love and light kind of thing. But sometimes you just want to like write out your mad thoughts. You've had a really bad day, right? So this book, the Chakras Activity Book and Journal, this was actually sent to me by the folks over at Knock Knock Publishing who created the Affirmator stuff. It arrived to me a little bit beat up, but it's fine. It's actually flattened out a bit now that I've had it for some time. I haven't worked in it yet, so I want to have this handy so that I can work in it. But there's work to do in here for every single chakra, and there's just a lot of really fun activities, which is really great if you're trying to get to know the chakras. I love doing chakra work, as a lot of you guys know, and I just think this is really fun that I could like maybe just pull in some different things here. So I want to have this in my like journaling space so that I remember to reach for it now and then and maybe do some work in here. So that is the Chakras Activity Book and Journals. And journal, and it says 108 creative ways to help you raise your vibes. Oh, sorry, 108 plus. So yeah, I just think this is really fun, and it's organized by chakra, obviously. So yeah, love it. And then lastly, this was a find from Book Outlet. It's a flow book. It says a book that takes its time, an unhurried adventure in creative mindfulness, not mindlessness. Oh my gosh, Lisa. So this was really inexpensive. I think its normal price is like close to $30 US. So I don't know what that is Canadian. I don't even know if you can get this in Canada typically, but this is basically a book of like journaling kind of activities. So my intent for this would be, a lot of the activities are actually meant to come out of this book. So for example, there's some information here about beautiful moments, and these are actually cards that you can punch out and like put into a jar, and I thought this might be fun. I'm thinking about maybe taking these out. Maybe I'll do that now before I forget. I'll do it after this video, but I think I'm going to take these out and create a little box or jar where I can drop a little beautiful moment in. These might be also moments that end up going in my 5-year journal, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. But there's activities like this throughout. So here is the Joy of One Thing at a Time notebook, and it's just like a little mini notebook that you can fill out. So things like this I can actually pop out and stick in my regular journal and like add them to it. And there's other things like this throughout. So here's some information on hand lettering. This feels like a fold out. Yeah, so this is like another thing you can do. Like there's just like lots of fun little things in here. So I feel like when I want to like liven up my journaling practice, slow soup. There's these cute little postcards. I think these are postcards. Yeah, there's just, yeah, snail mail. So there's a bunch of little postcards in here that you can actually send off to people. There's all kinds of fun things in here. So I just thought this could live, are these stickers? No. I just thought this could basically live next to my journal thing. You could also obviously take some of these pages, and they're clearly designed so you could cut pieces out and paste them into a journal. I don't know how much I'm going to really use this or not, but there's a few pieces in here that I thought I would definitely use. Like here's a 30-day mindfulness activity, and it's again a pull-out notebook, so I could tuck this into my diary TN. Yeah, just some fun things to do. So if this catches your attention, like I said, I'll have a link. If it's still on Book Outlet, I will have a Book Outlet link. Oh, this is like an envelope full of pictures. Okay, anyways. Oh, what's this? Using the cards in this envelope, write thoughts and insights you gained while reading this book. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's just really fun. There's lots of things you can pull out and use. So this is going to live with my journal stuff too. So those are the things I didn't want to forget to add here while I was showing off all my Traveler's Notebook things. I have covered all of my journaling fun times that I'm going to be doing this year. So I hope you enjoyed getting a peek into some of my practices. I would love to hear about yours, so definitely drop me a comment down below and let me know what you've been doing or are planning to do for 2021 as far as journaling goes, or planning goes. I love hearing about what other people are doing. My systems have evolved a lot from a simple bullet journal that I kept to do everything in, and more I've enjoyed having different journals for different purposes, and I really am excited to play with all of this stuff for 2021. I will definitely check back at the end of the year and let you know like what things I stuck with, how things went, all that kind of stuff. But I'm eager to hear what is working for you or what you're planning. So let me know. As always, please do like this video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe if you are new here for more content, very tarot and witchy heavy here in this space. But subscribe to be in the loop. And definitely don't forget to hit that notification bell and turn on all notifications so you get the notifications when I go live, sometimes spontaneously, as well as when I upload new videos. Thank you so much. Remember that you can always book a reading with me over at supportivetarot.com. Thank you all for joining me, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye, guys.